Have you ever gotten ready for something and felt like you were putting on a costume? Not your clothes, you. Like you're about to play a character everyone expects you to be? Maybe it's before a job interview or a first date, or just Monday morning. You look in the mirror and you think, okay, let me be the version of me that gets through this. The version that smiles at the right times, says the right things, doesn't make it weird. Yeah, we've been doing that a lot longer than you think, and it's killing us, slowly, quietly, in ways we don't even notice until we're standing in our own lives, feeling like a stranger. The 1950s, the era of keeping up appearances. And I mean, really keeping them up. Your lawn, spotless, not a blade of grass out of place. Your car, shining like you just drove it off the lot. Your family, smiling, always smiling, even if you had to force it, especially if you had to force it. This was the decade of perfection, of matching dishes and matching lives, where everyone knew their role and played it. Without question, father knows best. Mother makes it look effortless. Children are seen and not heard. Everything in its place. Everyone performing exactly as expected. Back then, the worst thing you could be was yourself. If yourself was messy or emotional or different. If you questioned things. If you wanted something other than the script you'd been handed. So, you learned to perform. You became whoever the room needed you to be. The good employee, the dutiful wife, the strong husband, the perfect child. You learned your lines. You hit your marks. And if you felt something different underneath, well, that was your little secret. Something you kept locked away where no one could see it. Not even you. If you could help it. You know that feeling when you're about to walk into a family dinner and you think, okay, game face. When you switch into work mode the second you log on. When you rehearse a conversation in your head before you have it. Planning out every word, every reaction, every possible response. When you check your tone in an email 3 times before sending it. When you practice your laugh in the mirror to make sure it sounds natural. When you remind yourself to make eye contact, but not too much eye contact. And smile, but not too much. And be interested, but not too interested. That's not new. That's not a social media thing. That's not a modern anxiety thing. We've been doing this for generations. Our grandparents did it. Their parents did it. We just don't talk about it. We pretend it's normal. We pretend everyone else has it figured out. And we're the only ones faking it. A psychologist named Donald Winnicott gave this performance a name in the 1960s. He called it the false self. And when you understand what he meant, you can't unsee it. It's everywhere, in everyone, maybe even in you. Here's how it works. When you're a kid, you test the waters. You cry when you're sad. You laugh too loud at things you find funny. You ask weird questions. You say exactly what you're thinking. You dance in the grocery store. You're you, unfiltered, unedited, unself-conscious. But then something happens. Maybe it's one big moment, or maybe it's 1,000 tiny ones. You learn that being you isn't always safe. Maybe you got too excited about something and someone rolled their eyes. Maybe you cried and got told to toughen up. Maybe you asked a question and got shut down. Maybe you just sensed. Kids are incredible at sensing this. That your real feelings made the adults uncomfortable. That your authentic self was too much. Or not enough, or just wrong, somehow. So you adapted, because that's what we do. We're wired for survival. And when survival means fitting in, we fit in. You built a version of yourself that people would accept. The polite version, the agreeable version, the version that doesn't make waves, or ask hard questions, or need too much. That's the false self. It's not about lying, it's about protection. It's a shield you built when you were too young to even know you were building it. And here's the thing, it works. God, does it work? The false self gets you through the door. It gets you the job. It gets you the second date. It keeps the peace at Thanksgiving. It makes people comfortable. It smooths things over. It knows exactly what to say and when to say it. And for a while, maybe even years, you might forget you're wearing it. You might think, this is just who I am now. The professional version, the mature version, the grown-up version. You might even feel proud of how well you've learned to navigate the world, how diplomatic you are, how good you are at reading rooms and adjusting accordingly. But underneath, there's another version of you, the real one, the one that still feels things deeply, that still wants things you're not supposed to want, that still has opinions you're too afraid to voice. And that version, it's suffocating. You ever catch yourself in the mirror when you think no one's watching, and for just a second, you see it, the exhaustion, the loneliness, the feeling that you're playing a role in your own life, like an actor who never gets to leave the stage. That's what happens when the false self takes over. It's not dramatic. There's no explosion. It's quiet, insidious. You just start to feel absent, like you're watching your life happen instead of living it. You're at the dinner table, but you're not really there. You're monitoring yourself, editing in real time. You nod along with opinions you don't share. You say, I'm fine, when you're falling apart. And you do it so automatically that you don't even notice anymore. Here's the cost. When you spend all your energy maintaining the mask, you have nothing left to feel the joy. You've traded your capacity for pleasure for a reputation for stability. That is the clinical definition of a life half-lived. You aren't depressed because something is broken. You're exhausted because you're carrying a statue of yourself on your back every single day. Your false self can be wildly successful. It climbs the ladder, wins awards, makes people proud. From the outside, it's perfect. But your true self, the one that actually feels things, it's trapped, getting smaller, quieter, until sometimes you can barely hear it anymore. Winnicott said that when the false self runs the show for too long, you lose touch with who you really are. You wake up one day and realize you don't know what you like anymore because you've spent so long asking, what should I want, that you've forgotten how to ask. What do I want? Look at these faces from the 1950s. Really look. You can see the distance, the performance, present but absent. The tragedy is, they thought this was success. They had no idea. They were disappearing. 80 years ago. Same fear, same mask, same desperate need to be seen for who they really are. The mask is timeless, but so is the person underneath it. And that person, they're still in there, waiting